Eamon Javers now for more details on the charges against former President Donald Trump. The indictment has been unsealed. Eamon.
That's right, Tyler. The indictment has been unsealed. We've been looking through it over the past little while. It's 49 pages. Former President of the United States and one of his aides have been charged in a 38-count indictment. Here's the breakdown of the counts and the alleged crimes here. The former President of the United States himself is charged with 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information. That's the Espionage Act. The maximum sentence there is 10 years. He's also charged with 1 count of false statements and representations. Maximum sentence there, potentially 5 years. Trump and his former aide, Walt Nauta, the valet, are charged both together with a whole series of crimes. 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years. 1 count of withholding a document or record, maximum sentence of 20 years. 1 count of corruptly concealing a document or record, maximum sentence 20 years. 1 count concealing a document in a federal investigation, maximum sentence of 20 years. 1 count of scheme to conceal, maximum sentence there 5 years. And just Walt Nauta himself, the valet, he's charged with 1 count of false statements and representations, maximum sentence there 5 years. Both men, of course, innocent until proven guilty. What we're seeing here from prosecutors today, of course, is a level of detail that we have not seen, despite all of the coverage of this case over the past year or so, about how these classified documents allegedly made it to Mar-a-Lago, how they were handled there, and then what appears to be, according to prosecutors, a willful attempt to deceive investigators about what exactly the former president had, and an accounting here of what these documents actually were. So,
well, that's
first of all,
that's what's really interesting to me, Eamon. I was going to ask you, do we know more now about the nature of the documents themselves? In other words, were they presidential schedules, or were they that plus a variety of other sensitive documents?
Yeah, it's a variety of sensitive documents, and these are among the most sensitive documents that the U.S. military and intelligence community would have, coming straight from the White House. We get a description here of the type of document, the date, if they have it, of when the document was produced. So just to give you a flavor here, they're talking about documents related to national defense. There's a top-secret 2018 document on White House briefings about various foreign countries, a top-secret document concerning the military capabilities of a foreign country and the United States, a top-secret document concerning nuclear capabilities of a foreign country, a secret document concerning communications with a leader of a foreign country, a top-secret document concerning the military capabilities of a foreign country, a top-secret document concerning military attacks by a foreign country, and military contingency planning of the United States. And finally, there's a document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States, Tyler. So we're getting a detailed breakdown of what exactly these documents were that law enforcement found when they went into Mar-a-Lago. But we're also getting an accounting of how these documents were stored, who had access to them, how they were moved around before the search and before Trump's own attorneys could review them, and Trump's apparent efforts, according to prosecutors here, to obscure what exactly he had and where those documents actually were, Tyler.
All right, Eamon Javers, thank you very much for that very complete report. We appreciate it.